Hi everyone, welcome to another video. This is Mr. Chow from EnglishTuition.org. Now today's video will be a quick one. We will be taking a look at some of the common oral symptoms that my students exhibit. So we practice oral on a monthly basis, and from experience, these are some of the more common oral symptoms that I witnessed while I'm practicing the oral with them. Right, so this video is for all PSLE English students or O-level English students. In fact, for all levels, right? So as long as you still have to take oral for your examination, then maybe you will recognize some of the symptoms as discussed in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. So here are the top 5 common oral symptoms that I've observed. The very first one is the one-word king, right? So what is the one-word king? The one-word king would be the student, whenever you speak to him or her, whenever you pose a question to him or her, he always come back with a one-word answer, right? How is the movie? Good. How's your day? Okay. Law, right? Sometimes they even add Singlish into their responses, but it's always one word and it's never longer than a word. Okay, so after some time it becomes a habit, right? And then every time you try to have a conversation with such students, it becomes very difficult, right? Because it's a habit now, right? And they always give you one word response. Some of them don't even bother to pronounce the word properly. They don't even give you the word, right? They will just go, is it good for you? They go, right? Like as if they're some cartoon character. Okay, so this is not a good thing because you do not form good habits. You do not use the language in your daily conversations, and then when it comes to the oral examination, you find that you cannot deliver because you're so used to being a one-word king. So what is the second common oral symptom? The second one is the no idea king. Right, no idea king. These are typically students who have a lot of trouble coming up with points, right? Especially for secondary school students. Not primary school students, as long as you have something to talk about, typically the expectations are lower, so that's still fine, right? So if primary school students, you are chatty, just try to make sure that your delivery is a bit more focused. Don't talk too much nonsense. All right, try to give meaningful content. Typically you do all right. Okay, but for O levels, right, they're 16 years old taking the national exams. All right, the expectations are way higher, so you cannot just go there expect to have a friendly chat with the examiner without giving any substantial content, right? So be prepared to give content with some substance. Okay, so that would be based on the existing knowledge that you have, the common points that are usually brought up for the certain oral topics. We actually practice this during our lessons to try to avoid being in this situation where once you get surprised by a question, then you go, I think oh, fish, I don't know what to say. So that is not the way to take an oral exam. Okay, so it's one of the worst case scenario, because if you keep quiet, chances are you're going to flunk the oral examination. Okay, sometimes you're nervous as well, right? You're taking the national exam, okay, and you're nervous and you get surprised by the question and no ideas are coming to you. Okay, that's like a worst case scenario. So try to avoid this situation as much as you can. Okay, prepare for the common topics. Prepare beforehand. Okay, the next common type of oral symptom is the looping king. All right, looping king. So these students typically, they don't have a problem with speaking, okay, but they do have a problem with coming up with enough points to say. All right, so for example, if they ask a question, what are the pros and cons of using a mobile phone in public? All right, and they only manage to come out with one point. You say, I think it's very dangerous thing to do because you're not aware of the surroundings and you might get hit by a car. And then they go off with a little bit of elaboration and say that, and in that case you might be injured, and they're done. All right. So because they're lacking in content, because they're lacking in points, they go back and repeat the same points over and over again. And sometimes some examiners are kind enough to give additional prompts, and sometimes some examiners just keep quiet, or they just say anything to add, right? But then they continue to go back, right, to the same point and loop and loop and loop and loop. So how do you think the student is going to do? Obviously not great, right? Okay, so it boils down to the points and the content again, right? So it's a little bit different from the no idea king. The no idea king is like zero, no idea at all. All right, the looping king has some ideas, right, but it's not enough, right? So they go back and loop and loop and loop, and they think that they have done a very good job, right, talking a lot, but it's a lot about the same thing. Okay, so they need to be different points, so that they can demonstrate their command of language by describing a variety of situations, right? By using a variety of sentence structures, different examples, so you don't loop and loop and loop and loop. All right. Okay. The next common oral symptom that we've often witnessed is the no elaboration king. All right, this is the king of zero elaboration. Okay, and I think this is one of the most challenging obstacle that students face. Okay, many students they are very good at giving short answers, right, as if they are doing a comprehension or they're answering comprehension questions. They give a very quick sentence and like, do you enjoy playing sports, right? And then they say, yes, I enjoy playing sports because I think it's fun and enjoyable, and then full stop, right? And there's no elaboration whatsoever. And some of them even go as far as they just end the oral bit, and by saying like, that's it lah, nothing else, that's it. Okay, so for oral, if you end your points too early, right, so you have not given yourself the chance or the opportunity to demonstrate that you are good at speaking, you have not demonstrated your speaking skills, right, so you will not do well for the oral. So don't play a fool with the oral, because the oral plus the listening comprehension makes up about 1/3 of the weightage for O-level syllabus, okay, and even for PSLE. All right, so it's a substantial amount of marks, weightage, okay, and so don't overlook oral. Make sure that you are well prepared for the oral. So it's not all about written work. Written work is challenging, yes, okay, but do well for the oral as well. Okay, and for those students who can speak well, it's actually easier to score for oral if you think about it, okay, because you don't have a right to a single word, and then you can score for 1/3 of the marks, right? How great is that? Okay, and the last and final symptom, okay, for this video that we're going to talk about is the mumbling king. Okay, nowadays we have the pandemic, and students need to wear masks when they go to school, and they're taking exams and they're wearing masks. Okay, and if they go into the habit of mumbling softly to themselves, right? So the examiner goes, tell me about your favorite pastime, right? And you go, my favorite pastime is, and everything sounds muffled, right? It's not clear, it's not audible, and the examiner has to go like, sorry, what do you say? You're in trouble. Okay, don't mumble, right? Make sure that the delivery is clear. Okay, but so these are the same students who mumble on a daily basis when they're speaking to their friends, when they're speaking to tutors like myself. When I talk to them, they mumble beneath their mask, and me being an old man have to go like, what do you say, right? And try not to do that, right? And on top of that, when you mumble, it comes across as you have very little confidence in your own speaking ability. That's why you're mumbling, right? Right now, right? If you're confident, okay, then you will speak up. Okay, you will make sure that your voice is loud and clear. You don't have to shout, right? But just raise your voice so that the examiner can hear you clearly. Okay. So, how do we attempt to overcome these symptoms, right? Only have one short advice for you. right? There's no overnight success. Now, don't expect to become a very eloquent speaker overnight. Okay, so you have to practice. Okay, keep using the language, just like writing, right? You have to keep practicing, keep using the language. Try not to form bad habits, right? Some of the bad habits that we've just discussed. Well, but if you're stubborn, then if those bad habits stick and during oral you cannot deliver, then don't expect to get a good grade for your national exam. Okay, at best, okay, you get an average grade because the oral component, like I said, is close to 1/3 plus listening comprehension, close to 1/3 of the marks, right? So that might pull you down if you don't do well for your oral. Okay, but the converse is also true. If you practice, you like speaking, you make sure that you talk loud and clear, use good grammar, know a lot of words, right? Know how to use good expressions when you're trying to convey your ideas, then I think you have a good chance of using oral to pull your overall grades up, not down, right? You want your grades to go up. Okay. So with that said, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it and find something useful, right? If you did, do remember to leave a like and a subscribe. And if you're serious about improving your oral and your English grades, right? And you would like to sign up for tuition lessons, please go to my website, englishtuition.org, and where you can find more details. All right. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.